OpenAI as it's related to self-publishing. We're gonna talk about it, come on! Hey guys, it's K Ninja here, and if you're new to the channel, this is an underground self-publishing channel. And here we talk about things those other phony mainstream publishing channels don't talk about. And today I want to tell you a little bit about something called OpenAI as it relates to self-publishing. And if you don't know what OpenAI is, let me tell you. So OpenAI, it's a little organization, and their purpose basically is to design open-sourced AI, which means free AI available to the public that anyone can use. And one of the founders of this organization is a man by the name of Elon Musk. And if you don't know who Elon Musk is, well, he's basically like the modern-day Einstein of our time. And I'll put a little link in the description to his Wikipedia page, just in case you didn't know who he was, and if you wanted to learn more about him. And anyway, let's bring this into self-publishing. So what OpenAI has recently done that kind of caught my eye was that they've been able to create an AI capable of generating text, as in the thing writes. Now, when I first heard about this, I was skeptical. You have to look at things with a skeptical mind. You can't believe everything that you read nowadays. And I'll put some links in the description of this video. I'll put some links to what I believe are some credible news sources where you can basically read about OpenAI. And I'll go a little bit beyond that even, and I'm gonna put some links to some videos, some YouTube videos that I think do a good job explaining about OpenAI's text generator. Now, I've done a lot of research on this, and I believe this will significantly affect the publishing industry. I don't see it as being a hoax. I don't see it as being fake news. Not with a guy like Elon Musk behind it. Because this guy is legitimate. He was one of the founders of PayPal. He created the Tesla car company, and he has another organization called SpaceX, whose mission is to make the human race into an interplanetary race and put humans on the moon and colonize other planets. I know, it's a little out there. But anyway, back to this text generator by OpenAI. Now, the name of the text generator is called the GPT-2. And this text generator can write. And the way it works is you give it some basic input text, and based on what you give it, it has the capability to crawl the net, do its own research, and write something about the topic that you told it to write about when you gave it your input text. And based on what I've seen of what this thing can do, it can write at a level that is indistinguishable from a human. And not only that, it can actually write better than a lot of humans that I know. I would say it writes better than the average human, which is pretty good. Now, AI that can write, it's not a new thing. In Japan, some guy created an AI back in 2016, which wrote a novel entirely on its own. A novel that actually won awards here in Japan. Yeah, for those of you new to the channel, I'm in Japan. I mean, that's what it's like when you self-publish for a living. You live wherever you want because you're location independent, and I decided to live in Japan. But anyway, that's beside the point. The point is that this organization has developed this AI. It's going to be made open sourced, that is, free for the public to use. However, they didn't make it open sourced yet. What they basically did is they decided to open source a light version of it so that different kinds of researchers and intellectuals could experiment with the thing. And the reason they decided not to open source the full version is because they're worried about the implications. And rightly so, they should be worried about the implications of this. Because what it has the ability to do is write perfectly grammatically correct text that's indistinguishable from a human on basically any topic you tell it to write about. You can imagine bloggers and how they would use something like this to generate millions of blog posts and try to rank their blogs higher with the search engines, higher with Google. But this doesn't only affect bloggers. It affects news sites. It affects freelance writers. It affects content writers. And yes, it affects self-publishing. Now, my understanding is that the full version of this will be made available in about 6 to 24 months. And the light version, it's not even something you want to bother with. Now, if I could have something like the full version in my hands right now, or not just myself, if any publisher was able to get their hands on the full version of this thing, they would be able to generate and pump out a lot of books very quickly. And the same goes for a blogger or any freelancer or whatever. You actually wouldn't need to hire a freelancer if you had this thing, because this thing is free and it seems to write better than a lot of freelancers that you could hire. I know it writes better than a lot of the writing services I've seen. Now, perhaps I'm a bit optimistic on this, but even if it comes out and it's not that great, technologies like this always evolve. And I see this as being the Pandoras Box of self-publishing. It means once this is open and the public has it, you are going to see a flood of self-published books, blog posts, news articles, spam, etc. If you're a publisher, and I'm talking about any kind of publisher publishing anything that's text-based, think of what you could do with an AI that could write millions, billions, trillions of words. Now, my students who have all been able to successfully implement the billion book strategy, which is not for sale anymore because I'm concerned that it could destroy the publishing industry, all of those students who have fully implemented it, they're seeing success from it. So we've already kind of got that source of unlimited books. And we have no competitors on that. We have zero competitors. We're just pumping them out. However, this OpenAI text generator thing, it seems to be a threat. But not only is it a threat to the students of the billion book strategy, which is not for sale anymore, by the way, but it's also a threat to the very fabric of the self-publishing industry as we know it. Because think about what happens when this technology gets out and suddenly tens of thousands or even millions of books a day are being uploaded onto Amazon. I can see Amazon shutting it down. I can see them saying we've shut our door to self-publishers because we can't manage the amount of content that we're receiving. And I can see them saying, from now on, we're only going to allow traditionally published books on our platform. And it's my prediction that this is going to happen. This has to happen, because it's the only way to control this type of AI text generator. Sure, if Amazon could control it, if they could detect it, then that would kind of save things. But I don't see how they can control it. I don't see how they can detect it. Maybe at first, if there was some kind of detector and it could be detected if something was written by an AI, that might save self-publishing at first. But technology evolves. If there's a detector, someone's gonna come out with a way to fake out that detector. And frankly speaking, after hearing about this and considering the long-term implications on the self-publishing industry, I can't recommend self-publishing as a long-term business opportunity to anyone anymore. I think it's all a matter of how many months we have left. Maybe we have 6 months left. Maybe we have 24 months left. Unless governments seriously get involved and regulate this thing, it is going to have devastating effects on all of self-publishing. And you might be thinking, well, K-Ninja, you're going overboard here. That can't happen. That won't happen. Look, this is Elon Musk. This guy does not mess around. If he releases an AI that can write, you had better pay attention. As for me, I'm gonna start focusing on other ways to make money online. If you want to go ahead and continue self-publishing, well, I'd say you have about 6 to 24 months left. I don't know the exact time frame. It all depends how many months they decide is enough to release the full version of this thing to the public. But yeah, for those of you who are serious about your publishing businesses, who are depending on a long-term income from your publishing business, my advice to you is start finding other ways to make money online, because it's not gonna last. Mark my words. This income we're all getting from self-publishing right now, it will not last. Will I completely stop self-publishing? No, I'm still gonna continue to publish. But will I put most of my energy into other things? You can bet your farm or whatever piece of property you own that I'm gonna put most of my energy into other things. Because I don't see self-publishing lasting long term. And I don't see it as being possible to control an AI as powerful as this, that's going to be released to the public, to do with as they will. And we all know what publishers are going to do with it. Sure, if you catch things at the transition, meaning the full version of this is released, and you use it to publish quickly before others do, you might be able to make some quick cash in the first few weeks of its release, or you might get your publishing account shut down for suspicious activity and never get paid. But I think when they first release it, they'll be able to detect it. After that, there's gonna be ways to take that text that it generates and modify it just enough so it's undetectable. That's what's gonna happen. If you doubt me, you go on right ahead. Keep on publishing at full force, put all your eggs in the self-publishing basket, and just pray I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But after fully researching this thing and seriously analyzing it, at this point in time, this is what I believe. And anyone who does self-publishing full-time, who depends on that income, consider this your warning from K Ninja. Self-publishing will soon be no more. We will be shut down because it's the only way to control it. Keep the traditional publishing houses and cut off the self-publishers who might be uploading AI-generated text. It's logical, isn't it? It's plausible. That's what's gonna happen. Now, yeah, you can doubt me, that's fine. I don't care, keep publishing then. But I've been pretty good at predicting the trends on these types of things, and I've been right in the past. And I can't really see any other single way that this could play out. Even if governments were to step in and regulate it. You know, there's some countries that are not part of the UN who could still get this thing on the market. It's going to evolve. It's going to come out. It's already out. It's just not in your hands yet. But it soon will be. We're all gonna have it soon enough. You heard it here first. The Pandoras Box has been presented, the only thing powerful enough to rival the billion-book strategy, and it's about to be opened. It's just a matter of how many months. Those of you who have had your publishing accounts banned already for other types of transgressions, consider yourself lucky, because you've got a head start on making money online in some other way that isn't self-publishing. For those of you who are all in on self-publishing, well, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. But hey, don't kill the messenger. I'm trying to let you know now, for your benefit, before this thing actually blows up. And it will blow up. Mark my words, this will blow up. That's about all I've got to say on it. See you in the next one. K Ninja out.